What's the most savage thing you've seen a quiet kid do? When they finally snapped, my little brother barely spoke until he was 8, but what he did to our school bully changed everything. Danny has always been different. He's artistic and barely talked to anyone except me and our parents. At school, either ignored him or made fun of his weird habits like organizing his pencils by color and counting everything in sets of 3. The worst bully was this kid Jake, whose dad coaches the football team. Jake thought having a special needs kid in his class was embarrassing, so he'd knock Danny's perfectly arranged supplies off his desk and call him Robot Boy. For 2 years, Danny never reacted. He just quietly reorganized his stuff while Jake and his friends laughed. Cree saw it but did nothing because Danny never complained, and Jake was careful not to cross obvious lines. Then came the day that changed everything. It was right before the school science fair. Danny had been working on his project for months. A detailed model of the solar system with each planet positioned exactly to scale. It was incredible, honestly better than most high school projects. Danny was putting finishing touches on his display when Jake walked by. Nice toy, Robot Boy. Too bad nobody cares about your weird space garbage. Jake accidentally bumped the table. Danny's entire project crashed to the floor. Months of work destroyed in seconds. The whole classroom went silent. For the first time ever, I saw Danny's face turn red. But he didn't cry or have a meltdown like everyone expected. Instead, he stood up, walked calmly to Jake's desk, and picked up Jake's science project a half-finished volcano that his mom had obviously helped with. Then he examined it for a moment. Then he said in the clearest voice I'd ever heard from him, "Jake, your hypothesis is wrong. You said vinegar and baking soda create lava, but real lava is molten rock reaching temperatures of 1,000 degrees drawn. Your model doesn't demonstrate volcanic activity. It demonstrates an acid-base reaction commonly taught to kindergartners." The entire class was stunned. Danny never spoke this much to anyone, but he wasn't finished. "Also, your measurements are incorrect. Mount Vesuvius isn't 6 inches tall. Your research is incomplete. Your methodology is flawed, and your conclusion is scientifically invalid." He paused, looking directly at Jake, "But since you seem to enjoy destroying other people's work." Danny picked up Jake's volcano and dropped it. The paper imagination shattered everywhere. "Oops," Danny said flatly. "Accident. Just like yours." Jake's mouth hung open. He'd never been challenged like this, especially not by the quiet kid he'd been tormenting for years. Then Danny delivered the final blow. "For someone who calls me a robot, you seem to have trouble with basic human functions like empathy and intelligence. Maybe you should study those instead of volcanoes. You clearly don't understand." The whole class erupted. Keys, who'd never defended Danny before, started clapping. Even the teacher looked impressed. Jake tried to get Danny in trouble, but when the teacher asked what happened, 12 kids volunteered to explain how Jake had been bullying Danny for years and destroyed his project first. Danny got a standing ovation at the science fair the next day. He'd rebuilt his entire solar system project overnight, and it was even better than before. He won first place. Jake got suspended for a week and had to write a formal apology letter. But the best part, Danny's confidence exploded after that day. He started joining clubs, making friends, and even became the school's unofficial science tutor. Turns out my little brother wasn't quiet because he had nothing to say. He was just waiting for the right moment to say everything perfectly. Now when kids tried to mess with him, they remember the day Danny destroyed Jake with pure facts and logic. Sometimes the best revenge is just being smarter than your enemies.